Welcome on board, everybody. Welcome to Monday night live here at Healing with Marcus. It's 7 p.m. on Monday evening, and we go live here every week. Um, I hope you're doing great. The goal of these lives is to create a community and a space of a weekly refilling of your inner peace and your inner sense of deep spirituality. On some levels, this is, on every level, this is meant to be a part of an awakening. We are all in the times of a big upheaval in our world, and it's a beautiful time to be alive from that aspect. Um, of course, not easy. Change is not easy, right? It never is. And welcome aboard, everybody who came on board right now. It's nice to see you here. So, change is something that most of us, because we are alive and we are humans and we have grown up and had a life experience, we have created some form of an ego, one way or another. Glenn Diller, there you are. Hello. I saw you walking by just earlier. Nice to see you. Um, so we have developed one form of ego or another. And when I say ego in this case, I mean the defensive structures that we have created. L.E.K., thank you, L.E.K. Greetings, dear soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have created a system of defenses against pain. It's very, very, very natural, very, very normal. It would be abnormal to not create a system of pain if we experience that, right? So when we grow up, we have certain feelings and experiences that make us feel pain. We go, ow, that hurt. Oh, that hurt when this person did that or this person did that. Serpent Visionary Oracle, happy Monday to you and welcome on board. So and hi Sierras and Sunsets, nice to see you. So and Johnny Neal, nice to see you as well. So when we're growing up, we have a painful experience. It's very similar to if we grow up and we stub our toe, right? Most of us have done that at one point or another. We stub our toe getting out of bed in the middle of the night or whenever. We learn in a very painful way that we got to put our foot somewhere else. That we have to pay attention where we put our feet so that we don't stub our toes, right? Because it hurts. And pretty quickly the body, the mind will learn, oh, yep, let's be mindful of so I don't walk into the same corner again. Very easy to see, right? Where I lived in my other apartment once, I walked into the wall with my foot and my pinky toe got stuck and it really hurt, like really, really hurt. Every time I walked by that wall, I would make sure to create space for myself in that wall because I could feel the pain in my pinky. So in a very similar level, our minds will create a defense system when we experience something that's painful. And usually growing up, there's some form of emotional pain, one way or another, whether it comes from parents or siblings or friends and extended family, wherever the pain may come from. We develop a system of defenses so we don't have to feel that pain. Absolutely normal, right? Nobody can blame me or you for developing these defenses, these structures for defense. The only problem is that if I start to imagine, do the example with the toe, right? If I envision that every wall I walk by, I might hit my toe on. So now I'm scared of every wall I walk by. That's when the ego has gone awry. The experience that happened has now started to filter in and color my experience wherever else I go in life. And suddenly all walls might turn out to be threats to my feet. And that is going to impact my life very negatively. And of course, it's not based in reality. It's only based in that one time. So when we start to recognize that, oh, I had painful experiences, somebody bullied me, somebody did something hard to me when I was growing up, somebody said something mean, I got the impression that they didn't like me. I got the impression that my family of origin wasn't supportive. Whatever the feeling may be, feeling tone inside of us, we developed defensive structures and systems and behaviors to protect us from that similar pain. And it takes different forms in all of us, right? So some of us will become defensive, as in aggressively forward, like get out of my face, stay away from me. Some of us may become very, very subordinate instead. We might have found that if I just submit to the other person's will or whatever they are accusing me of or saying, I'm just going to say, yes, you're right, and I'm going to lay down so the pain goes away. But no matter what it is that our defensive structures have, what form they've taken, we end up living in a system that is actually kind of almost only alive in our mind nowadays. We also end up pulling into our lives similar experiences because that's what we're familiar with, because that's what we're looking for, right? We know now that there've been a lot of studies done on this, that if you keep looking for something, you will see it. So if we walk around being afraid of something in particular, we have a very strong emotional charge around this fear as well. Guess what? We're going to keep seeing it. It's going to keep coming into our lives. And if we are in a relationship where it can be easy, I used to have this experience quite a lot, where in my case, I had a lot of jealousy in my life, and I had my radar system was all about making sure that my partner wouldn't act in this way or that way, or that they wouldn't leave me, whatever that, the underlying fear was, of course, abandonment. But my system was programmed to be like, okay, I'm on the lookout so nobody can threaten this relationship that I think is bringing me joy and happiness. And the problem becomes that when I'm focusing on this thing, I'm actually feeding more energy to it. I'm giving these behaviors, these energies, these currents in my life, I'm giving them more attention. Whatever I give more attention to grows. Shamanically speaking, energetically speaking, when we're giving something attention, it's going to keep growing, whether it be something negative or something positive. And of course, that's not easy to see when we're in the middle of it, because when we're in the middle of it, it seems like, oh my God, that person is so mean to me. And that's all we can see. But if we step out of the picture, and not that people aren't mean to us, right? Of course, people can be mean or disrespectful or whatever, but they're also acting out their programming. So when we start to see through our own program, it becomes easier to see that the other person is also just acting out their program. And often, our programs will enforce the other person's programs. So if we see something very positive and light and loving in the other person, that's going to keep growing. And if we see something very not positive or dark or angry or negative or criticizing, whatever it might be, that's going to keep growing. So we have to learn how to come back home. That's a big part of this spiritual journey, and what's coming through me in this journey and this shamanic experience that I'm having in this lifetime. A big part of it is to guide us back home, to help you and me, to anchor back home in our inner source, in our inner light, so that we can start to discern when something has something to do with my energy field. What did I pull in? Can I have stronger boundaries? Because that is another thing, right? We grow up in abusive situations. Boundaries is something that, personally, I had no idea what the heck a healthy boundary would look like. Personally, I had no idea what it would feel like to have a healthy boundary, or to have the right to have boundaries. Yes? So as we go deeper into ourselves on our spiritual journey, we start to discern, where does the pain come from? Why am I feeling so much discomfort right now? What is it that I'm trying to run away from? What is this feeling in my body that makes me want to hide or scroll on the phone all the time, or whatever it might be that's your go-to behavior, right? So as we start to kind of look within, more than without. And here's the problem with, even though it's beautiful to see that somebody else has something, like often we may not see that other people may have negative behaviors. And we might sometimes be calling that person a full-blown narcissist, and that person is a narcissist. When we have seen, if you have had a bunch of people like that in your life, At some point, we need to start looking at ourselves too. Not that the other person doesn't have problems or faults or whatever you want to call it, but why are they in your life? Why are you, you know, allowing this energy to be in your life? Unless you're getting something out of it too. Unless it's part of your ego system. So we're bringing this journey back home. We're bringing ourselves back home. Welcome on board, everybody who's here. It's nice to see more people coming on board. And it's nice to see that we are a growing community. Trenton Shine, lovely to see you here, sir. It's lovely to see we're a growing community of spiritual seekers and finders who are gathering on this tribe here online, and it's beautiful. So, and if you have any thoughts or questions about what I'm sharing, feel free to write here, comment here, because it's lovely to have an exchange going on. As we bring our awareness back home, and we start to find our inner light, and we start to find what is it that makes me not sit in my light? What are the things that are triggered in me when I get either angry or criticizing or negative or I feel that need to escape? What is it that I'm hiding from? What is it that what is my inner world? What does it look like? What's happening in my system when I feel that tinge of fear? When I feel that tinge of they're doing that again. They're doing wrong again. I need to stop that. What is it that's happening within me? What is it that's shutting down inside of me? What is that memory that pops up? In meditation, can you sit and find these traumatizing memories? Not that we need to always relive them, but we need to see and feel into what did it feel like? And when we have certain repetitive behaviors or feelings in our lives, because most of us do, can we track that down to childhood experiences? Can we track it back home to where it started? Not that we have to remember everything. It's not necessary to have to remember everything, but it is fairly necessary to sit with the feeling. Almost like that feeling of abandonment that I ended up having in my sacral chakra from growing up in a certain setting, a certain dysfunctionality in my family of origin that made me feel extremely outside and alone. And with that, there was an abandonment feeling. That abandonment feeling, I spent most of my life trying to protect myself so I wouldn't have to feel that again. And what happens then? Then I start looking for, is my partner, do they have any behaviors that might lead to abandonment? Does this person over here have behaviors that may lead to abandonment? And when I look for those behaviors, guess what I will find? I will always find more of it. So until I can bring my awareness and attention back home, I'm always going to be a victim for the unresolved trauma that is running in my system. And as I then come back home and I start seeing that little kid who was abandoned, and I start sitting with him and I start holding him in light, and I start seeing and feeling compassion, feeling empathy, feeling love for this little kid, holding him in light. And as I feel that little child getting more comfortable, and I can feel that the joy that the kid had to suppress, the joy is coming back up in my system. We're bringing that little kid back into our hearts. We're bringing that kid back into our system so we can become complete. So that the experiences we had that shut us off, we can start completing ourselves, basically doing soul retrieval journeys, helping ourselves to feel safe in the moment, helping that little kid to realize that we're not that little kid right now. Even though there are memory traces in our physical body and in our nervous system and in our mind programming, it doesn't mean we are in that situation now. So that's one way to start to get deeper into our sense of inner light and inner power, because it's all about finding your inner power so you get stronger in your walk, so that you can start to discern. Discern means become a healthy, and when I say judge, I don't mean judger, I mean judge, a healthy judge of what's happening within you and what's going on in your life. Do you have healthy discernment for, is this healthy right now in this situation, that situation? Is this good for me? So as I start growing in my inner strength and inner power, the power to discern what we want in our lives and what we don't want in our lives gets stronger. Your intuition wakes up. You become stronger in your intuitive connection. So then you start to listen to your heart. You start to listen to what's coming through in the ether. Not just fear-based mind thoughts, but actually what's coming through, inspiration, inspired thought, and feeling. And as we start to heal in that space, we start to feel better, we start to act better, we start to learn that life is different than what I thought it was when I was growing up. At times, life was very, very, very dark. Life isn't as dark as I perceived it to be, yes? That was just something that, because of my outer experiences and what I made into my own trauma, what happened, life looked very, very dark. But as I sit from a new perspective, life changes. How I see things changes, and then life changes. Now, there is also something that we're going to talk very briefly about it. In our deeper sense of reality, when you go back home, when you come into your inner power, your inner strength, you start to feel into, is it true what this person is saying about me or about the world? Or is it true what the news are reporting to me? Is it true what this and that thing here or there, the pressure in society, is it true? And when you use your discernment coming from your inner space, then you are starting to exert what's called healthy free will, right? So when we get a healthier sense of free will is when we're stronger, when we feel more independent, we feel more sovereign in our beingness. And as we become more sovereign, using your free will to make choices becomes very different than when we're doing it based in fear. When we're coming from the old programming, the matrix program and the fear-based program, our decisions are usually not based in what seems right and truthful for us. It's usually based in what you should be doing, what others tell you to do, what other people are, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. That's what a real person does. That's what a grown-up person does. And unfortunately, what we consider to be grown-up is usually, well, then you fit into the matrix, the box of the matrix. Just like when we look at schools nowadays and how many kids we're putting on medication because they can't sit still. And we're asking both boys and girls to sit still for 6 to 8 hours a day. Do we have any idea how unhealthy that is? Can we see how not easy that is for a little child that has all this energy in their system? Because in their system, all the cells are dividing all the time. They're growing by leaps and bounds. They have so much excess energy that of course they're not going to be able to sit still and listen and take in information from somebody who stands up in front of them. Or even if it's on the computer, doesn't matter. So we need to see, I believe we need to see that in many ways the matrix has really, really grabbed us. And when we're in the grips of the matrix, we believe everything we're being fed. We believe that organic food isn't that important for you. We believe that all these chemicals in the food, it's approved by the government, so it must be good. Not realizing that most of it is very bad for us. We believe that, we got to get better water in our system. We got to get better air in our system. Because truthfully, a lot of it isn't that healthy for us. And many of you who are listening to this already know this. This is not news to you, but it's still something that needs to be said. And when we then come into that idea of what's called, some people talk about it as calling it the false light. When we say that we are, I trust in the powers to be, I trust in the government, I trust in the big corporations, I trust in the war machinery, I trust in whatever it might be, and we're trusting that in order to feel safe. Or even when we go to the major religions, sometimes we aren't really truly listening to ourselves. A lot of times we're listening to things that are outside of ourselves, thinking we are following the light, but it's really not the true light, right? The true light lives inside of you, deep inside of you, beyond the traumas, beyond the false programming of the mind. We find our core energy. And when we find our core energy, we start to grow. And we grow into that expression that you came here to create. Why you, just you, are here right now is because you're learning how to express your light into the world. And when we start listening then deeper to that, it becomes a lot easier to stay on track. It becomes a lot easier to sit in meditation. It becomes a lot easier to observe when, I feel like I need to escape from something. I got to go and do something so I don't feel this feeling in my body, this discomfort, this uncomfortable feeling. Sometimes it's, of course, not bad to go and exercise. Of course, beautiful to go and exercise. But if we do it because we want to escape a feeling in our system, maybe it's worth looking at. Maybe that's worth looking at. Because as you start to observe whatever discomfortable feeling is in your system, when you start to observe it, you start to sit with it. You may feel into it, and you may feel, there's my discomfort, there's my sense of abandonment. That doesn't feel very good. Okay, but can I breathe into it? Can I breathe space into it? Can I, instead of running away, going towards it? Can I move my awareness, my attention towards my trauma so that I'm not afraid of it anymore? Can I face the shadow? Can I face the things in my system that are not easy to sit with? And sometimes that's super difficult, of course. I'd be lying if I said that was easy. But it doesn't matter, because if we keep running away from it, whatever, it's going to keep running our lives. Right? Then whatever you've been hiding in your system, whatever is of the darker experiences that are in our system, it's going to keep growing until we have the guts, the stability, the energy, the courage to face it, to sit with it, to breathe space into it, to hold the darkness in light, to hold the darkness in love, to begin to absorb, to begin to dissolve that darkness. As we do, we start to feel more comfortable in our own skin. We start to feel more at home in our own body, in our own lives. And as we then come back home, we learn how to discern between the false light and the true light. Your inner true light, which is of a very high frequency, or outer traumas, outer dysfunctional messaging that's coming around. We can look at what they call toxic masculinity, or we can look at toxic femininity. And we can realize and recognize that most of our world is running on these programs of toxic, either masculinity or femininity. And it's basically the divine masculine and the divine feminine that have taken on forms that are fear-based. And whenever fear comes into something, there's also control involved. And when we're then controlling things, we're doing that with the tools of the feminine versus the masculine, right? So the divine masculine is meant to hold space for the divine feminine to create and express life. But in our dysfunctional world, the lower frequencies, the divine masculine turned into toxic masculinity, and we became jealous, we became controlling, we became, where were you, who was that, blah, 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 instead of just holding space, being a safe container. And the divine feminine, that is meant to express and create life, takes on another form where some of it is very much of, if more people just like me, then I'm good. Then if I'm seeking more and more attention, I must be worthy of love. And of course, that's meant to be in the divine union. And when I say divine masculine, divine feminine, that doesn't mean that it has to do with gender. It has more to do with the energies that are in your system, what dominant energies are in your system. So as we make our way back home into our light, we also start to recognize divine masculine, divine feminine, and what's not divine masculine, and what's not divine feminine. Because most of the messaging in our world, even the simple idea that sex sells, is toxic, right? It's toxic because we're using something that's beautiful. Human sexuality is amazing and beautiful. We're using it to get something. We're using it to sell something based in fear and greed. Yes, we can see that that is sort of a false light, yeah? We can see that if I think I have bigger weapons than you, then I can do whatever I want. That's not the same as holding space, creating a safe container. Being safe, being strong and big is fine. But if I start going out thinking, well, I'm bigger than you, so I can punch you, I'm in a fear-based space. I'm not sitting in the inner light. I'm not sitting in love. And all of this comes back into if we can start seeing how our society and how much of the messaging and programming we have received is based in the false light and also in toxicity, we can start releasing from it. What is true for you? What does your sexuality tell you? Not what does the opposite gender, or the other partner, what do they like? Not only, right? What do you feel? What's coming through you? And it's beautiful when we can start to experience it, when we start to be more free in that space. And also when we can use our discernment to feel, oh, I think this is right for me. I think this and that medicine, this and that medication, this and that, whatever it might be, is right for me. If that's your truth, that's your truth. And if my truth is different, then that's my truth. If my truth is, I think that I can get through most things with body healing, with healthy foods, healthy water, healthy air. Not so much energy frequencies in the ether, maybe. So we all have a right to our inner truth, right? We just got to have the courage to go and look for it. Go and find it. Dig into. My friend and I, we were just talking about digging in the dirt. The old Peter Gabriel song, digging in the dirt. We have to dig in. We have to go inside and look so we can come back home. So that when your inner space then is not uncomfortable to be in. When your inner space becomes more of a comfortable space, meditation is like sitting with yourself in this beautiful light. And yes, it can be tricky, it can be triggering, it can be painful, but you're still at home. But when we're still trying to escape from home, when our brains and frequencies and energies are so high spinning, right? Fast spinning, thought. It's hard to stay at home. So our brains are so used to that high frequency spin. So my dears, all right, so I'm so grateful we're many people here today. We're gonna go in and do our healing session. We're gonna go for about maybe 15 to 20 minutes. It's gonna start just about in a little bit here. What I would like to recommend for you is to breathe deeply into your body. And just now, before we start here, breathe into your body and envision yourself growing roots into Earth Mother. Envision yourself energetically growing roots into Earth Mother so you can start getting support. And with that support, it becomes a lot easier to sit in our own inner space. The healing starts to take place and starts happening from your root chakra into your sacral chakra and up. And if you have any experiences or traumas that are coming up for you. Because these times right now, the energies are very, very high, and then and then we get tired. And if you've had a need to eat more recently, that's because there's a lot of energy coming in. There's a lot of upgrades going on. We're going through a big upheaval right now. Lots of spiritual energy accessibility, but it also creates, it puts a lot of, not stress, but pressure on our system, as in now it's time to up level. We're leveling up big time. So, if you have any trauma that's been coming up for you, any feelings, or if whatever I've spoken on today, if that's triggered something in you, hold that up in the light. As this healing session starts, when I start to use the tools, the sacred tools that I use, the rattle and the flute and the drum, and then the sounds come through me. As we do that, if you feel like you have something you want to release out of your system, or if you feel you want to breathe space into something, begin to breathe space into it. We're here together, right? This healing session right now together is meant for you to have healing. It's meant for us to sit here together. We connect in the quantum field, in the ether, and we support each other's growth and healing experience. So it's a big activation of your energy and your chakras. All right. If you're new to this, you're in for a little bit of a ride. And with your permission, we will be aiding and assisting you in releasing things out of your system. See if you can sit in your light. Tawate toyo. Tayo wahi toyo. Nate oto taya. Oyo yo yo. Taya. という太陽まいという太陽おと太陽でよわいよと太陽でよわいよわいや太陽わえよごこ太陽ないとよわい太陽太陽と太陽太陽太陽太陽太陽はいや太陽よよよよよよよよよはいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいや太陽太陽よよよよよよよよよよよよよよよよよよよよよはいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやいやい Hey, 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 太陽、太陽、ほうと太陽、おおあてよ、とよよよよよよよよ。はい。はい。おいよといよ太陽わひよと太陽太陽太陽太陽わひや。 to to yo to tai ya. Oyo wahi tai ya. Hey. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murataye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Tayo. Na itoyo. Tayo. Tayo. Welcome back into the room, everyone. I hope you had a beautiful experience. Hope you felt all the energetic activations that were taking place. I hope you could feel the removal of different forms of trauma that were stuck in your system. You could feel it as releases and things being pulled out of your system and a deep activation of your inner light. We bless you. We bless you with so much light, so much love. Thank you, Serpent Visionary Oracle. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful we are here in this budding community of spiritual growers. Yes, we're growing. Yes. So much love, everyone. Have a lovely, beautiful week. Keep an eye out for more videos. Thank you, Sierras and Sunsets. Thank you, Ellie Keith, and thank you, Trenton Shine. Tawa Teo. Thank you, everybody who stayed on board. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, everyone. I wish you a lovely, beautiful, amazing week, and we'll talk soon again. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to connect. Feel free to write me a text message, an email, or a call anytime. Much love. Namaste. And aho.